All right, going live. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is going to be a fairly rapid one, simply because I was a little late getting on. Now let's just go and make our announcements here over in Telegram. And okay, there we are. As you're tuning in, thank you so much. We are now ready, I think. Let's go get our screen sharing capabilities here. And away we go. So we're going to start off with silver. Yesterday I was talking about how it was retouching this. There we go. Yesterday I was talking about how it retested this area here, and so it's definitely a good time to buy. We're staying above that, and we've broken out of this trend line here, and definitely headed towards my next target, which is at the 33.8 level, $33.80, and the all-time high is only 35.10, 35.25 ish. So yeah, things are moving along. I know this doesn't look like much, but the fact of the matter is, you can see since we have an all-time low here. Well, not all-time low, but a low since May that hasn't been challenged yet. And in fact, since that time, we've been forming higher lows and higher highs. So silver is definitely on its way up. For gold, I'm just going to turn down this light a bit because it's a little obnoxious. There we go. So for gold, similarly, we had a new high formed basically the same day as the silver did. Yep. And so since then, it has it kind of retraced a little bit down into the 618 Fibonacci level, which is healthy. It's a very healthy retracement, and is looks to me like it's going to be following. It's going to be following this pattern for a while here. We can see that nice big spread between these two moving averages. I'll get rid of this blue thing here because it's kind of irrelevant now. This area here would definitely be a fantastic buy, and likely, headed up to our target. Where is our target here? Our target is at the 27.38 US level, and yeah, that's a 5% increase. Even from here, it would be a 3.5% increase, and I would expect this to occur within a matter of weeks. For the S&P 500, we are retesting the pivot zone here. We can see that we made a nice big run here, and this retracement. I've been saying this for years, that the only thing that we're seeing here is the result of inflation. This is not reflective of the value of the market. This is reflective of the value of the currency. And as the currency drops in value, then it reaches new highs. Again, this does not indicate that the markets are healthy. The US 30, same idea, brand new high formed the other day. Yep, at the 40, what is this, 42.63? 42,630, I should say. It has a retracement here and is holding its own. We'll see here in the next 6 minutes what kind of action we get. Usually leading into the first minutes of the market, we see some volatility as the buys and or as the orders get placed. There's a lot of whiplash. Next, we've got the Japanese markets. Fascinating news coming out of the Japanese markets. It looks like they're getting propped up a bit by the Bank of Japan is getting propped up a bit by the large companies because they, I would imagine that they think that it's just too big to fail, so they got to keep it going. And so we're seeing some liquidity there. Probably expect to see some higher prices. My call here for a downturn, for a bearish movement on September 6th definitely hasn't come through. But also we haven't been able to really push past this resistance at 39,400. That would be ideal if we could see that for an upward press. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. If it happens, it's only because they're keeping it going. So we'll get into now the cryptos. Here we have the non-playable coin. This is moving along quite nicely. As you can see, we're well above. Oh, let's just see here. Do I have lines on this one? I do, but they're very far apart. So there are more lines that I need to draw here. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you how I do that so that you can start analyzing some charts on your own as well. And it would be great to share some conversation about how this is going. So this trend line right there is going down. We blasted out of that there. It was mid-September. And since that time, we've been showing a lot of strength, even above this major resistance point here at the 2.1 cent level. The next level, I'm going to go down to the 4-hour chart just so that we get a little bit more detail on the chart, because sometimes what happens with the daily chart is we miss some of the key moments. So right now we are actually testing a line of support. Yep, definitely. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one into, let's go 4. All right, so at the 2.6 level, this is basically where we're at right now. Now, the reason why I put it here is because if we go back in time, we can see that there's a lot of price action around this level. Here it was testing, here it did another test, dipped back under, and then that resistance ended up being strong enough where the bears won for quite some time. When it came back up, the bulls found some resistance at that level, and then when they went above it, they found that level, the bulls found that level provided them with some support. Even here, it dipped down, but it came right back up again, and then it hovered around that for quite some time, dipped underneath, and then you can see the bears, the bulls found too much resistance here, and the bears ended up winning for a while. So you can see that level there being crucial again here today, even within the last month. So we are here. Well, actually, this is the last couple weeks. So since September 26th, we can see that that's provided that support, and it's still doing it today. In order for us to come down into this area here, which is where I would definitely be doing some repurchasing, for that to occur, we would need to see the price pull underneath for at least 2 bars before we knew full well that we were down here. Now it might skip down here, so you put some place some pending orders. But if it goes down that far, then we have to wait for us to get back above this line of resistance before we can say we're headed up. Right now, things are looking positive, especially with this high coming out so nice and early, and it's been it's been quite some time that we've known that this particular meme is going to gain a lot of popularity, especially as we head into this wealth transfer, because there are going to be people who are simply non-playable characters in this story. They are just running the program. There's nothing you can do about them. You can't help them, and so that culture of people that are going to be left by the wayside, so to speak, they've got their own meme. And this meme is gaining a lot of popularity in the financial markets as well. And this is reflective of that. Since the purchase that I made at the beginning of, beginning of July, that particular trade has gone up 58%. And then the trade that I made at the beginning of September as well, that one also has experienced growth at 85%. So this is, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this happen. I can tell you right now that if it does come back into this area, into the purple area, I will be repurchasing. If we end up dipping underneath, my plan is to actually sell and buy at a lower point again. And that way I can accumulate some more holdings. Next, we've got the Sundog. This one here had a huge retracement. My trade plan here has failed, but that doesn't mean that I'm done. It just means that I've got to adjust. Now, I wouldn't do this if I was trading any kind of leverage trading whatsoever, but this is, so this right here is just a downward trend here. We've got a good sign of a lot of good up, like the bears, the bulls rather, have been winning quite well, and I believe that this is just a retracement to accumulate some more volume for the big ones. And the reason why I say that is because when it dipped down, it didn't drop below this low here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this one, and actually let's mark this a 3. Is that right? No. Yes, we're going to mark that a 3. And then there's another one that I see here. So that's a major point of support right now. And then there's another one right about here, because we can see that the price action floated around in this area. Now I'm kind of hitting the average on this one. And we'll make this one the 4. And then we have another one right here. It looks. I'll make this one 5. And then let's get a 6 in here. That's this point right here. Next one is right here. You can see, well, you might not be able to see, but definitely a pivot point there. This one will be our 7. And then the next one is right here. And we'll make this one 8. And I think I'll leave it for that for now. Oh, no, we've got definitely some more price action going. So that's 8. Here's 9. Okay. So I know that those lines are really subtle for a lot of the viewers. I just do that because I don't really like to always have tons of color on here. I really just want to see the price, and I can reference these points. They're more in the background that way. So yeah, and then of course the all-time high. Yeah. That all-time high will definitely provide a lot of resistance as well. Oh, this is all-time high. So that's kind of the ceiling. That's my target right now. If I were to buy right now, that would be my target. With the trade that I made earlier, my target is at the 50% increase. So I'm looking to increase my holdings, my investment on that one by 50%. That's my target. For Woo, this one is showing a lot of the bears are definitely showing a big win here, and my trade currently is definitely in the drawdown. I'm down at 14% at the moment, but as you can see, we are definitely at another point of support, and I would say, yeah. I'm going to call that one a 2 because I know that this is a fairly low point in the entire chart. Yeah. So there we have it. We are currently at this point. Be a good time to buy. This high here didn't beat out this high, but because we're seeing this upward trend occur, and the accumulation with Woo is coming into play because of the utility phase that it's entering. So it's becoming something that more and more people are that are able to use. And so as that occurs, there's more profitability for the end user, which increases the overall price and value of the project. All right. Oh yeah, just need a little spruce juice. For ARK, again, a little bit of drawdown from when the trade was placed. Right now I'm down 17%, but I'm in this next pivot zone. And again, because we are coming into utility phase, we're seeing lower highs and higher highs forming over the last couple of months. And so I do expect that this retracement will be bouncing back from this point of, yeah, this is a nice point right here. Let's mark this one. Lots of price action in this area. And yeah, so this one here, my intention is to ride this one quite a ways. And the reason why is because, if I'm not mistaken, this used to be, yeah, so there was an all-time high of 15 cents. And so my target is for that. Now, yeah, ARK, I'll definitely be adding to my position I'll be adding to this position because, man, if I can take, usually I make these transactions in $250 sizes, usually. And so I'll be making another one at this point. And that just means that this time when I make the purchase, instead of the amount that I had before, I'll be adding that plus another 16-17% on top of that. And so that's called dollar cost averaging. I'm able to bring down the cost of my investment further, the further down that price goes, so that when it goes up, I've got even greater gains over the long term. This project here is actually quite fascinating to watch. Yesterday, we were coming down underneath this resistance zone, this pivot zone, and we are now headed towards this one. If it comes into this range here, I will definitely be buying. I was waiting to see what would happen on this one. I was going a little bit too fast, I think, on like Woo, Sundog. I took I took action a little bit too soon. But these ones here, this one here in particular, oh wait, Tau, this is the BitTensor. This one here is being highly regarded as foundational for AI in the future. And so there's a lot of expectation for this to go to $1,000 per coin. And if that's the case, then I want to come in at this point. In fact, I might even already start buying. As I'm looking at this range is actually about this large. So yeah, we're just now in the top of this range, this pivot range. And so good time to start buying, and dollar cost average your way as it goes down. Dips are for buying. There's another resistance point or another support line right here. This one would be key. This one here would be really nice to grab because then we'd almost 3x your money as it goes back up to 1,000. Injective token is in a great place to buy again. We are retesting this long-term trend line. I think this is from the beginning of the year even. Yeah. So from the beginning of the year, this trend line has been showing a lot of dominance over the price action, but we had a breakout. And right now that price action is retesting this trend line inside this pivot zone. And so this is definitely a good time to buy. I've got 2 positions open in this particular asset. The first one I started in the middle of June. That one's drawn down, but then I've got another one that I took at the beginning of September, and that one is on. What's going on here? Oh, I see. This one is up 14%. So down on one of them. This one just doesn't want it. There we go. So down 26% on the first one, but I'm up 15% on the second one. And the second one, I was able to add quite a bit more to my position. And so the profit that I've experienced since then is actually met the losses that I experienced in the first trade. And this is just the beginning. As you can see, as we're going into this utility phase again, the Injective token having a lot of focus on interoperability along with Cardano. This one here is showing some great promise. It definitely isn't showing much desire to go below this target here. And as a result of this impulse here, we can expect a target of, this one's missing one. $132. Yep, there we go. There's our target right there at the $67 mark. Right now at $19, the projected increase would be 244% from this point. You know, just from the first point that I got back at the beginning of June or middle of June, that one there would experience 158% increase if we hit that target there. So excited for that one. Desync, this is our decentralized storage, web hosting. Ooh, I gotta fix these lines. I keep saying that. Right now at a point of support, and if we dip back into this zone here, that won't be the worst thing. It just means that we're retesting some great levels. Now right now, yeah, I've got 2 trades. Right now I've got the first one that I took in June. It's got a drawdown of 15%, and the next one is up 5%. Now I don't think that makes me in the positive at the moment, but I can tell you right now, if it goes into this area, I'll be buying some more. If it retests this line, that would be fantastic actually, because now 13 cents, that allows for people to come in and experience about, almost 200% increase. So they would 2x their money once Destra Network, the Destra Network takes off. 0 by 0. This one here is coming back down, testing, hardcore testing. It may even test this trend line again. We can't be thinking that we know everything about the markets. Just because it came up to this point doesn't mean that it can't retest this trend line here. This little bit here could be a retest, but this is definitely showing, especially with how fast it came through this zone, it's showing a lot of strength in the bears, and so it may retest this bearish trend line before it takes off. But I do expect good things from this one. This is a private AI coin, and typically speaking, through October and November, we see a lot of strength. So I believe that this is a great time to accumulate some more. Right now, I'm in a drawdown on my first trade by 37%, and then my second trade is up by 26%. So probably sitting at about break even right now between those two trades. For 01 Labs, I'm just watching this one still. I haven't really chosen what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to go to the 15-minute charts because of how little data we have. I would want to see a good retest of this line. Actually, no, I do believe that we are out of that. Now we might not be, but there is this strong. I don't have a whole lot of data because this hasn't been around very long. I'm going to make this a 5. So this line here is providing some great support for the price action ever since September 30th. Yeah, and it's provided some great support in the past as well. So the fact that we bounced off of that, and I know it was only just a few hours ago, the fact that we bounced off of that is actually quite encouraging. If it does come down into the red, I'll definitely be buying. I know the target on this one is $1. That's what a lot of people are saying, that this one is slated to accomplish. The high price here. It's 44 cents. So yeah, if it comes into this area here, I'll definitely be wanting to buy because then you'll almost 2x your investment. Next, XRP. This is the funny one. People keep telling me, "Oh, we broke out of a long-term bearish trend," and it's like, no, we didn't. I don't know what they were thinking, but here is this trend line here, this bearish trend line, and it's been, yeah, it definitely has been a while, but this is the opposite direction they were saying that it was going. They said, oh, no, look, it's breaking out of this bullish 7-year bullish trend. It's like, no, it hasn't broken out of shit. In fact, it tested this line here, the same line that it's tested many times before, and not really been able to. It's a couple spikes, right? But I mean, this here, what did this last? What did this last? This lasted all of 21 days, and it just dipped right back down underneath again. So the fact that it's happening, like we bounced off of it. Oh yeah, and that's not even that one. That's this one. Yeah, okay. So that one lasted 23 days. Came out, tested these a couple of times, but it's been really having a hard time staying above that for very long, and this was no exception. In fact, it didn't even get above it. It really just tested it and now is driving downwards. Now, I did say that it would be good to sell, and sure enough, if you were to sell and then now repurchase, you'd increase your holdings by 21%. That's a lot when you're looking at the all-time high. Is that right? No, I don't even think that's the all-time high, is it? $2? Yeah, that actually, I think that's right. So when you're looking at that as an all-time high, at 280%. XMR, look at that. Now, I didn't actually do this because I wasn't holding any Monero, but I did say this would be a good time to sell here on the September 9th. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. It retested this resistance at 177, and then it's just been dropping ever since. So now we're definitely at a point of support right now. As we can see, that blue line there is providing that support. But this trade is done. You know, if you would have done some option trading on this one, you could have had 20% increase in just those How many days was that? 19 days. Solana also showing some weakness. Well, the bulls are showing weakness. Bears are showing some strength here. And we're now right now retesting the 137 level. If it's not able to, it might still break down and go down to this range here on Solana. Yeah, in fact, I don't even really like this expanding wedge too much now that I'm watching this for a few more days. I'm just like, nah, you know what? Those are just anomalies. Really, we've got the channel happening here. This is just price consolidation. On Polygon, we broke out of this trend line here, and you can see this new high was formed, but we've been having a difficult time getting back up again. And I think it's not necessarily because the bears are going to win, because that would require us to dip below this yellow line at the 34-cent level. So we're not there yet. So definitely it would be worth it to, actually, you know what? It'd be worth it to start dollar cost averaging some buys all the way down to that 34-cent level, possibly even the 30-cent level. But I have a hard time believing that it's going to go lower, just simply because this high came up so much more. Like, it did definitely do a good job of breaking out over top of this resistance. And so the fact that this low is formed higher, this one here, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, no, I'm optimistic that this one will go well, because Polygon is a good chain. They've got some great projects in there. Okay, so this is Cardano, and we can see that we're now retesting this mini trend line that was formed. We were not able to break out of this the bearish trend line here. But this is still a good time to buy, because I don't believe that we'll see lows lower than 24 cents. We may have another test of that. It'll be after we test the 30-cent level first. Ethereum. As you can see, we have broken out of this short-term trend line, but we've got a long ways to go before we really get a leg up on the $2,800 level. And as a result, I'd be buying. I'd definitely be buying right now. And if you wanted to, yeah, I'd definitely be buying all the way down to the 21 level. And be ready to buy all the way down to the 1900 level. I know a lot of people don't think that that's going to happen, but we've got 3 downward trends to break out of before we can say that we're on our way up. And I recognize that that could happen anytime, but just be mindful. You don't want to be in the market wishing you were out. It's better to be out wishing you were in, I can assure you. Bitcoin, we've got a channel formed. We're still following that very, very well. We are at we're at a point of support at the moment, following the middle of the channel. This high here is encouraging, but again, like, we need to see some higher lows get formed, and this low here is, still following this basic trend line over the channel edge here. So I've got this as a marker for what we can expect as a target. This is where I would go for a target. That'd be 87. That's where I would sell, and anywhere between here and this trend line, basically, I would be dollar cost averaging my buys. And even now, that is what kind of a spread do we have right now? That's a 15% spread between where we are now and this point of support. And so yeah, you could dollar cost average your way down there. Might even wait a little bit. We'll see what happens. This center line has provided some pivot points throughout this trend as well. So definitely start buying if you want to go up. And we've got a couple of coins that we're comparing to Ethereum here just to see what's happening between the coin ecosystems. And we had that pendant that got broke out of last week, a couple weeks ago now. And it whiplashed a little bit and is now starting to follow this long-term trend line going up. It's looking like it's going to test this. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to test this 5-point level here, and like not 5. And yeah, well, I would want to see a good support on this before I was to say, oh, yeah, now we're going to scream out of this with a lot of force. I think that what we're going to see between coins is a lot more stability, simply because of the diversification that each of these coins represent. So, Solana, ADA, same idea here. You can see that we've got that gradual trend line occurring. Yeah, I'm even now starting to see that we can probably adjust this line to be more reflective of a channel. Yep. Yeah, we've basically formed a channel here more so than anything. You can see even there provided that line provided some support there. Yeah, and so here we go. That's a better representation of what we're watching. Okay, I'm just going to double check here, see if there are any comments. No, but if you do have comments, if you got questions, if there's a chart that you want me to analyze, go ahead and put it in here. This is the end of the market analysis here for October 3rd. We do this every day, 7:15, every weekday, 7:15, and we go till about 8 o'clock or so. And then after that, we've got our private trading group that meets up. So if that's of interest to you, definitely leave a comment, and I'll send you the link to join the private one. But yeah, definitely come on by every morning, 7:15. We'll see you on YouTube Live. I'm also on Odyssey and also broadcasting to X. So thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing the comments, and go get it.